good shot. Oh my!
Here to celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R7 Hewitt Cup champions, are going to Coburn.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburn Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
One of the hottest teams in the OJ over the last month has been the Kingston Vs, and they made another statement last weekend against Markham. More on that coming up in just a moment. This is the OJ Today. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Today, via the power of Skype, Jamie Neugebauer will join us for a chat. Nugsy is all the way out in Saskatchewan these days, covering the SJHL, but he's still the social media director for the Toronto Patriots, watching all the games, so he's up to date, and he'll be filling us in on what's been working so well for the Pats so far this year. Also, despite a bit of a slide lately, the Mississauga Chargers are much improved this season, and we'll spotlight Joe Washkarak's squad in our team report. But first, OJ highlights, and as mentioned, Kingston's been on fire lately. The Vs are one of the fastest rising teams in the OJ right now, and they'd won 8 of 10 when they traveled to Markham last week to take on the Royals. OJ highlights now brought to you by Cool Sports, official apparel provider to the OJHL.
Markham hot on the heels of Aurora and Newmarket for first place in the North, and it looked like they were going to run away with this one. All Markham early. Braden Oban bangs it home. Markham up 1-0. Second frame, this is definitely a nominee for the top 5 this week. Zach Sheedy to Bane Cunningham, Roof Daddy, 2-0 for the Royals. 4 minutes later, Brett Odekirk sprung on the break. He tickles the twine, 3-0 for Markham. And then the wheels fall off. Midway through the period, Cole Beckstead, sweet feed for Austin Grisenia, lead cut to 3-1. And then top 5 nominee here, Josh LeBlanc with the spectacular solo effort, finishes the play on his face, but still manages to put it in. 3-2. Third period, they complete the comeback. Alex Bishop can't smother the puck. Cole Beckstead pounces. 3-3, and they were some kind of pumped, and you know where this is going. Cole Edwards with the exclamation point, the wraparound. What a comeback for the Vs, who stun the Royals as they claw back from 3 goals down to steal 2 points. Huge win for the boys from the Limestone City. Mississauga fans were pumped for the Flyers on Saturday.
Go Chargers!
Yeah, no scoring till the second frame. Evan Stull takes the pass, goes bar down on Daniel Murphy. Orangeville takes the lead 1-0. The Chargers get it back though, 2-on-1. Christopher Karabasis gets stopped at Matthew Colin, smacks home the second chance, and it's all knotted up at 1 apiece. Third period now. We pick it up with the Flyers leading 2-1 at this point. Dan Bruno on the power play, make it a 2-goal Flyer bulge, but then it's Missy's turn with the man advantage. Max Rutledge on the doorstep, banks it home, and they narrow the deficit to 3-2, but this is just deflating. Orangeville, shorthanded. Michael Hill with the steal. He's off to the races, and he beats Murphy to add the insurance they would ultimately need, because with the net empty late in the frame, Paul Violo pokes it in, but that's as close as the Chargers would get. Apparently, some people just don't like to be filmed. Orangeville holds on for the 4-3 win at Port Credit Arena. Not much has gone right for Milton this year, but they gave it their all on Friday against the junior Canadiens. First period, power play, Matthew O'Brien out front. Gets it past Noah Battaglia, and it's 1-0 for Les Canadiens. But Milton comes right back. Eric Ciccolini keeps his stick on the ice. Always a good move. Goes to the net, and it goes 1-1. Then Milton takes the lead. How often have you heard me say that this year? Awful giveaway. Brandon Lucchese puts it in. 2-1 Milton at the break. Second frame, the junior Habs hit back. Nice feed for Matthew Falls. All tied up at 2 apiece. And then the Ice Hawks with a brutal giveaway of their own, serving it up on a platter for Matthew O'Brien. Too easy. They would add one more to make it 4-2 at the break, but then a definite top 5 nominee here.
Trying to get something going here. Ciccolini right in the wing, shoots, he scores! Eric Ciccolini, a great move and a better shot.
Yeah, Eric Ciccolini with a sweet one, but it was as close as the Hawks would get as they go down 4-3. Burlington in Newmarket to take on the Hurricanes, and the Cougars strike first. Diglan Small just hammers it at the net. Somehow it goes in. 1-0 for the Cats. Second frame now. The Hurricanes hit back. Alex Iarullo, the nice pass to Dimitri Mikrogiannikos. Hope I got that right. Top shelf, tied up at 1-1. Then Quinton Byfield just hangs out front, bides his time. It pays off. The Canes lead 2-1 at the break. Third period was a crazy one. Wyatt Velada wires it at the net and finds daylight to tie it up at 2 apiece. Now the Hurricanes would make it 3-2, but then Clayton Holscher tickles the twine to knot it up at 3s, sending this one to overtime, and in the extra frame, it's Holscher with the top 5 nominee for sure. He victimizes Eric Aramita, puts it in from the seat of his pants for the OT winner. Burlington wins a thriller in Newmarket as they drop the Canes by a 4-3 count. OJ trivia this week. Who was named the 2016-17 OJHL Rookie of the Year? He had a heck of a season. R. Morocco at the OJHL.ca. First correct email to him wins an OJ prize pack.
Welcome back to the OJ today. As promised, all the way from Regina, Saskatchewan, the busiest announcer in junior hockey. This would be Jamie Neugebauer. Jamie, welcome back to the show, buddy. Distance can't keep us apart, man, thanks to Skype. How are things going?
Well, it's an absolute honor to be back, and I'm having a blast out here. Absolute blast.
Yeah, you are covering the famed Notre Dame Hounds in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. That's correct?
That is correct, yeah.
That's correct. Okay, we'll get to the Hounds more in a second here, but you're still the social media director. You're writing articles for the Toronto Patriots. You've been watching every game via the internet, so you know how this team's doing. Last year, out in the first round of the playoffs, some people thought they could have surprised perhaps and gone a bit further, but so far this year, they've been fantastic, battling with Oakville for first place in the South. Is this kind of what you expected at the end of last year? Is this what you thought they were building towards?
Yeah, well, the arc was definitely on the upward swing. Andrew Petrucci really broke out last year, and they had a team that, to be quite honest, I talked to Mark Juris quite a bit ahead of that series against Burlington in the playoffs. He knew that this was a good team. There was a lot of guys that were just on the cusp of greatness. They've, maybe done the greatest add that they could have was adding John Dean as the head coach, and he's done a great job, as is Mike Bailey as assistant. So, yeah, you can't expect to be, in a top 10 on a regular basis in the national rankings, but you can expect this team was going to be really, really good this year for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned Petrucci. Petrucci's just been lights out so far this year, the top scorer on the Pats, and he's been around the top scorer in the entire OJHL pretty much the entire season. Talk about Petrucci and the role he's played this year.
Well, I was thinking about it along the way here, and sure, he's got a great shot. He can really pick up the pace. He's smart. He's stronger than a lot of guys in this league. But as many great goal scorers will tell you, you score most of your goals when you don't have the puck. He just pops up in the right area time after time after time. We saw it last year a lot with Braden Stortz of Wellington, the way that he just piled up the goals and the points, and very similar Petrucci this year. It just shows up for a backdoor tap-in, and his chemistry with Ollie Benwell has just been lights out as well.
I was going to say former Blade Ollie Benwell, who's now in his second year as a Pat since being acquired from the Blades. Just talk about Benwell and him and his supporting role, but he's not far behind Petrucci in points, is he?
Yeah, well, those that watched the GTHL Midget Loop a bunch of years ago knew how good of a player Benwell was going to be, and Oakville did not want to give him up as a rookie. To be honest, he did. He was on a great track, and there are a few guys in this entire league that really protect the puck, suck 2 or 3 guys in, and then there's somebody open on the other side of the ice, and obviously the assist total for Benwell is proven that he's up around 40 assists already, I guess, at this point. So he's special for sure.
Dante Spagnuolo, the man whose name that I always used to butcher, but you taught me the proper pronunciation, so hopefully I'm saying it right now. But Mr. Spagnuolo, another guy who's been lighting it up this year. He had a 6-point game in a crazy affair against Markham a few weeks back. But Dante's really been showing the skill this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, and again, you think back to midget. He had a huge midget career with the Richmond Hill Coyotes, put up huge numbers there, and those that knew that loop knew how dynamic he could be. And you think about Petrucci and Benoit on this team, and those guys are great players in their own right, but Dante's the guy that really can create something by himself with his hands, his escapability. He's got some good speed, and he's also got a fantastic attitude. I talked to him right when he was acquired as a rookie from Trenton, and his attitude was fantastic right from the start. And he's known Mark Joslin for a long time, the GM of this Patriots team, and Dante's done a great job. And boy, is he a fantastic kid if there's any college scouts out there watching, for sure.
Yeah. Altogether, I counted 8 players on this roster. They were averaging over a point per game, which is insane when you think about it. It's almost unheard of. So it's not really a shock, I guess, that when you look at the standings, the Pats have scored the most goals in the OJHL by a pretty wide margin. I think Oakville's in second. I think they've got 103 goals, whereas the Pats have 123 right now. It's balanced scoring, isn't it? And that's what you need.
Yeah, and you look at where the places that were filled in from last year, and I think a big part of it is creation from the back end. Ryan Wells is another year older, and he's certainly an OHL caliber defenseman, and he showed that in times with the Mississauga Steelheads this year. They brought in a guy in Josh Rettinger that, again, Mike Daly was extremely familiar with from his time in Oakville. He's done a great job on the back end too, and those two guys really add a lot of offense from defense. Nicky Kalpuzis, Favaro, these guys have ability too. So there's no rest, on the top, all 4 lines on this Patriots team, and that really shows it each game. When maybe one line is having an off night, the next one can really fill in. There's so much depth.
Yeah, Cam Gray is gone this year, the standout goalkeeper from last year. Tyler Fassel, though, doing a great job holding down the fort between the pipes. Just talk about Tyler for a second.
Yeah, not a big guy, but has a tremendous attitude and competes like there's few other. The fire in that kid's eyes when you watch him on the ice is pretty special. He played a huge number of minutes, was extremely successful in Junior B listable before coming to I guess the Patriots via Trenton, part of that Spagnuolo trade that sent Jeremy Pilar the other way last year. But
we ran out of time there, Newsy. But thank you so much for being on. We'll have you on next time to talk about the Northeast. Okay.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, man.
Yeah, sorry, Nugsy. We just ran out of time. One more game highlight. Mississauga and Georgetown on Wednesday. The Chargers already upset the Raiders earlier this year. They duplicate the feat on this night. Matthew Broussard beats Mario Carey. Missy takes the 1-0 lead. Then less than a minute later, take it away, Alan Corkum.
And now Carabas busting. Here comes Carabas for Mississauga. He crosses over. There's a chance and they score again. What a pass! And Ciola puts it in the back of the net. And just like that is 2-0 Chargers.
A great call by Alan. Jump ahead to the third period now. Crazy save by Daniel Murphy. You got to take another look at this one to truly appreciate it as the point shot comes in. It ends up on his back. Look at this control though. Don't know how he does it, but somehow he keeps it out. Mississauga beats Georgetown for the second time this season as they snap their 5-game losing streak in style.
Welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, 50 years is a milestone, and as the Aurora Tigers celebrate their 50th birthday, they're hoping this year is truly a golden one for the legendary OJHL franchise. All indications so far are that the Cats are going to be a force to be reckoned with. They've flirted with first place in the North Division all year long, and they continued to roll last weekend as they hosted the struggling Whitby Fury.
No scoring in the first, so we pick up the action in the second. Tigers on the rush. Rizvan Mansarov goes 5-hole on Luke Pearson. 1-0 for Aurora. 5 minutes later, Pearson gives up the big rebound for Tyler Davis, who happily jumps all over it. And the Tigers looking good. They lead 2-0, and they'd make it 3. Former Fury player Brock Welsh victimizing his ex-teammates. Pearson just hung out to dry there, 3-zip Tigers. But then it was Pearson to the rescue.
He's got time. 10 seconds, 2-on-1 Davis. Got Romano. Romano shot by! What a save right there by Pearson.
Take another look at this one. Pearson sprawls to rob Anthony Romano. Third period, Aurora adds 2 more for good measure. Welsh with the nice feed for Luca Esposito. 4-0 El Tigre. And then Marcelo Periqueo with the seeing eye shot from the point that just finds daylight. And a dominant performance all around by the Cats on this day. 5-0 the final as they stay in the thick of the race for first place in the North Division.
Well, the legend of Jack McBain just continues to grow. The projected first-round NHL draft pick has been on fire lately, headlined by a monster performance against the Mississauga Chargers 2 weeks ago, in which he put up 5 points to lead the JRCs to victory. Now, last Sunday provided a much stiffer test for Mr. McBain, however, as he and his boys faced off against the defending Buckland Cup champs, the Georgetown Raiders.
The Raiders with a comfortable lead atop the West Division heading into this one. First period, Mario Calaberry on his toes to snag the Anton Trublin shot. Scoreless after a period of play. Second, Andrew Corson-David heads for the front of the net and slams it past Dalton Ewing. G-Town jumping out to the 1-0 lead. The Canadiens hit back though. Artur Turchiev, top of the circle, kaboom. Beautiful shot. And the Junior Habs tied up 1 apiece. For the end of the period though, Raiders on the power play. Jason Smith with the nifty move coming up right here past Dalton Ewing. And Georgetown back out front, 2-1. Then another top 5 nominee, Brendan D'Agostino, just turns on the Jets, blows past the Habs defenseman, and deposits. Raiders extend their advantage to 3-1. Third period, Mario Cavallari with one of the stops of the week on Jake Joffe. Right on the doorstep. Take another look here as we slow it down for you. Just sticks out the paddle and deflects it over. Beautiful save. On the ensuing face-off, though, Joffe gets his revenge. Quick shot to beat Super Mario, and Toronto pulls back to within 1. That's as close as they would get, though, as the Raiders hold on barely to beat the Canadiens by a 3-2 count at Scotiabank Pond. Defending Dudley Hewitt Cup champs Trenton travels east to take on the Panthers. Second frame, Trenton drawing first blood. Ryan Brown sneaks it in, and it's 1-zip Hawks, and that was their high point for the game, though. Panthers on the power play. Josh Arger with the dangles. He beats the keeper, and it's 1-1. Just 30 seconds later, another power play. Andrew Hughes from a pretty nasty angle. Hughes just picked up from Stouffville hours earlier. Good debut. Third period now. The Cats on the power play. Arger gets his second of the game to make it 3-1. And then Davis Tegan Katsumi will tickle the twine to make it a 4-1 ball. The Panthers add 1 more late. 5-1 Pickering final. The Cats much improved this season and looking good. Markham and Whitby before the game. The Fury presenting a check to Hearth Place for nearly $3,000 from their Pink in the Rink charity game earlier this month. Great job, guys. It's the Royals drawing first blood. Follow the bouncing puck. It finally ends up with Jack Jeffers at the side of the net. Jeffers makes it 1-zip. Markham, second period. Whitby on the power play. Jason Stashelback pokes home the second chance, and it's even Steven 1 apiece. And then Josh Battistella gets sprung on the break. Jacob Cuffley, naughty with the hook. No question about it. So, penalty shot. And he comes, but Cole Brady shut in the door. Game still tied. Third period, Markham nearly wins it. Nick Junta denied by Nate McDonald, though, to keep them alive, which sent this baby to OT. Shane Bull nearly plays the hero with a sweet little move here, but Cole Brady says, not happening, pal. They were off to a second OT. Ryan Bazana off to the races. Top 5 nominee? I think so. The emphatic finish past Brady as the Fury celebrate the overtime win. After a slow start to the year, They've now won 2 of their last 3. The man with the game winner stopped by afterwards.
Everybody played their role today. You know, we got pucks in deep, which is what we wanted to do. We got bodies in front of the net, as you saw with the first goal there, a tap in, and just all the boys were firing on all guns today, so
Yeah, apparently something funny at the end there. OJ standings, North Division, Newmarket holding strong over Aurora, followed by Markham. Pickering making a push right now as well in 4th place. In the East, Wellington, a comfy lead over 2nd place Kingston, followed by Trenton, and then Coburg and Whitby in 5th. To the South we go. Oakville, just 2 points separate them and the Patriots, followed by the JRCs, North York, St. Mike's, and Mississauga picking up their 10th win of the year. And in the West, Georgetown, still a comfortable lead over Buffalo in 2nd, followed by Orangeville. Burlington and the Milton Ice Sox holding steady in 5th place.
Welcome back to the OJ Today. Mississauga Chargers head coach Joe Washkarak is many things. Nice guy, great coach, well respected throughout the league, and turns out a pretty good analyst as well, as we've had him on the show the last 2 seasons to help with our playoff preview. The reason why we've been able to have him on the show is because the Chargers unfortunately missed the playoffs both years. Now, Joe has made it crystal clear to me that he likes helping out, but he has no intention of doing it 3 years in a row. And if he has to, he's not going to be a happy man. Understandable. The good news is the Chargers are a much improved squad, and they've been flirting with a playoff spot all season long. We find out what's been working for Mississauga now in this week's team report, brought to you by Cliff Bar, the official energy bar and sports nutrition food of the OJHL.
Here comes Carabasas for the Mississauga President. There's a chance and they score again. What a pass! And Ciola puts it in the back of the net. And just like that,
3 years must feel like an eternity to the Mississauga Chargers. The last time they made the playoffs was back in the 2013-14 campaign. It's a streak they plan on ending this year.
Last year, well, I thought we had a good squad. We could have made playoffs, but I guess we just fell short at the end. And that's very disappointing for everyone on the team, and everyone returning this year had one goal in mind to make playoffs, and we're in striking distance for that right now, so we're set to make a good push for it and hopefully go far in the playoffs.
The X's and O's have been paying off. Head coach Joe Washkarak's team has pulled off some big wins this year, including 2 over the defending Buckland Cup champions, the Georgetown Raiders.
So far, we're really happy as an organization the way things are going. Our goals against, I think, is currently one of the top 4 or 5 in the league. Our goaltending's been outstanding. Luca Durante, Daniel Murphy. We're just having a little bit of a tough time scoring. We're getting chances, and we're hoping to improve that. But it's a very tough division this year, and we're a couple games under 500 right now. But we're hoping to get back at it this weekend.
We really focus on our zone defense and having everybody in our right spots, and we're really good at getting the puck out, and our penalty kill has really kept us going forward here. Special teams are a big part of our game, and we've been in a lot of tight games, and our penalty kill definitely being at a really high percentage. We're pretty high up there in the league too.
Second-year Charger Christopher Carabasas has been on fire all season. He leads Mississauga in scoring and is amongst the top in the OJHL.
He led our team in scoring last year. I think so far as he's leading it again, and he's played outstanding, and we're definitely going to need him down the stretch here to get where we want to be. But he's been very good on both sides of the puck for sure.
A strong supporting cast rounds out the Chargers roster, including Oshawa Generals draft pick Joseph Rapoli, a monster of a defenseman who adds an entirely different dimension when in the lineup.
He's played some games with Oshawa, and he's played some games of us, and when he's in our lineup, obviously we're a lot better team when he is here and when he's not. And same with Drake Gravel, who we picked up recently with the Steelheads, who plays up and down with us as well. And, 2 very good defensemen, and we're very happy to have both. Yeah, Brandon Yeamans, I've known the Yeamans family for a long time, and you know, he just works his butt off every shift and works hard. He's tough, plays a great 200-foot game, and you know, he's putting up some points for us. And you know, he's a great leader on our team, and you know, I really like coaching the kid for sure. Kyle Lewis is just another really hard-working kid that you know, we followed since minor midget. Hard-working kid, great kid off the ice, just really hard-working. You know, was snake bitten there for a little bit for goals, but I believe he's got 2 or 3 in his last couple of games, but has a lot of assists. He may have the most assists on our team, but you know, he's extremely important to our organization and us making the playoffs this year for sure.
Veteran Max Rutledge has been a leader both on and off the ice.
You know, Rutter's a big leader on our team. You know, he brings a good edge, light side in the room, always getting the guys together. He's really focused on bringing in the younger guys and helping them, you know, join in on the team activities and make sure that everybody gets to gel well. And he's a really key team guy on our squad for sure.
Anything but a playoff berth this year will be seen as a disappointment by the Chargers. They've shown already they can take down the top teams in the league, but with the Southwest Conference as competitive as it's ever been, they know getting to the postseason will be no walk in the park.
You know, we've seen some really good things at the start of the year here, and we can just keep working forward on that and just hopefully get a good playoff push, get a couple rounds deep, and that's all you can ask for, right?
We've played very well. We've beaten the Georgetown and Trentons, and you know, we as I said earlier, we have a hard time scoring a little bit, but we do keep it out. So you know, it's a tough division, a tough league, but you know, we feel that you know, this could be a year where we made the playoffs. It's been a few seasons now, but we have a lot of good players here, and we're definitely going to make a great push for it.
Okay, very quickly, our top 5 brought to you by Chaos, the official hat provider to the OJHL. Number 5, Burlington's Clayton Holscher from the seat of his pants gets the overtime winner against Newmarket. Number 4, Kingston's Kevin LeBlanc from his face against Markham gets it to go. Number 3, same game, Zach Sheedy to Bain Cunningham, Roof Daddy. Beautiful. Number 2, Milton's Eric Ciccolini with the dangles against the JRCs last weekend. Wires that home. Number 1, Luke Pearson of Whitby with the grand larceny on Aurora's Anthony Romano. Take another look here as he sprawls to make the massive save. Definitely our Chaos play of the week.
And we've got to run all out of time for this week, but just remember to keep up to date with the OJHL, all the news, stats, standings, and stories. You can head to ojhl.ca. And of course, you've got all your social media options to check out as well. Thank you for tuning in, folks. See you next week.